Hey there, you bunch of legends. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Warne Dawgs. Is that what it is? I'm looking at my team ahead of round 12. This is, my side that I'll be rocking with for this week and sort of having a little bit of a look at some structure and some strategy as we look ahead for this weekend and the rest of the bye round. So a quick one. I've said it that many times recently, but best 18, 3 trades per week, etc., etc., etc. If you're unsure, go and listen to the podcast. Go and do that, which you should be doing anyway, hopefully. So let's get into it then. Let's have a look at what the Warne Dawgs are looking like. So I've made the trades on this, so rather than me clicking around and being bloody moronic with that, so I slipped outside the top 11,000 last week after being inside the top 10,000, so it wasn't a great week for me. I've made my trades. Let's go straight into them. So I'm going with Wilmot, who has done his job as the rookie there. Philippou the same as a rookie out. And Stocker, who's that mid-price player that just needs to go. They're my outs there. Bringing in Ocean Mullen. I couldn't get that right. He's coming in as that sort of cash cow guy. The cash cow that I'm paying way too much money for there in 478k is Bailey Humphrey. And so it's almost that straight swap from a Philippou, goodbye, and that sort of stuff. And then I'm getting Matt Rowell there for Stocker. I do have 60k in the bank. Probably could have gone some other options, but they are 3 players that are on the bye next week, which is kind of what I was looking at. So let's have a look here. This week I'll be rocking with full back line, a full midfield, 1 ruck, and 5 in the forward line. So I'm rocking with 20 players this week. So not too bad. So if I whack my buy detector on, I can click off those round 12 players. Obviously, neither of these guys are playing there, so it wasn't great strategy if that was the case for what I was doing. So it's solid enough. Drury on field is the only guy that doesn't have the bye that isn't playing. So he's obviously a dead red dot rookie there for me. So that's what 12 looks like. Now, those trades allow me for round 13 to go 1, 2, 3. So only 3 in the back line at the moment, but there will be some DPP that can move. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with Ashcroft because I'm holding him despite others not doing that. Shit, what number was I up to? God, I can't even count here at the moment. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, so 10. 11, 12 at the moment won't be able to get McAndrew on if he's there, which I probably doubt that he is. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19 with Brayshaw coming on. So there's 19 next week before trades. And with any trade strategy, it is about getting players coming off their bye. So I should be having more players available each week than what I'm thinking now. So moving ahead to round 14. So remembering I'm going to have, before this round 14, I'll have 6 trades used. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 it must be there. So I'm pushing all right with that one, which is the one that I was getting a little bit shaky on at some point because I'm not as heavy on the round 15 as others might be. So, should have gone that way, round 15. So as you're looking there in the back line, pretty good with 6 there. I've got 6 in the midfield, 1 in the ruck. Oh, well, maybe 2 if McAndrew does play. Humphrey and Pedler. Now, obviously, we've got a lot going on there with your round 15 forwards is a big issue with that, but I'm probably looking okay with that. So that's something that I'm not too bad because I don't have the big dogs there in. Let me just go to the stats center here and click on, I'll just go average and I will go for the forwards. So the guys with that round 15 bye will be Taranto, Zeeble, Sheasel. So I've got Sheasel, don't have Zeeble, don't have Cornelio. I've got Rosie, don't have McRae, don't have Butters. Obviously, don't have Bailey Smith, don't have Caleb Daniels. So a lot of those top guys there, I don't have. So it's going to, that's through a bad thing because I should have those types of players there. That pop-up wasn't there before. During the bye rounds, 12 to 15, only the best 18 scores. That's the stuff we already know. Make sure you read it if you haven't done that. So anyway, that's where it's sort of looking at the moment with my side. So I'm relatively well structured. So my dots, though, the dead guys, I've got Fleeton, Chesser, Sharp, and then Drury are my three dead ones. McAndrew is arguably dead there as well. If he was there in round 13, I would be a semi-slight chance to bring in Max Heath as a bench option in the forward line or utility or whatever to be able to flick him onto the field. So it's something that I may consider through there because St Kilda do have that. They have a lot of Sunday games, so that that Sunday game could help with some loopholing later in the season. But I'm not a massive fan of chasing loops or players for a loop because they're going to be there anyway at some point. So when you're looking at this, some advice is also looking at not making sure you're not stacking your side with your trade in and out targets. Now, DPP does make a bit of a difference with that, but just keep a track of not getting, 7 premium defenders or something like that. Now, my side is a fair way off being any good, so I'm still chasing just getting as many rookies off field and getting the mid prices. So that moving forward of trading. So I'll just click on the round. Actually, let's just get the round 14 guys up, for example. So potentially, at round 14, McGrath could go, although it's recent form. Warple's that sort of prime guy to go then. A Jinby is as well. Pedler would be as well. So, maybe my 3 trade out players that week are Jinby, Warple, and Pedler. Like those guys go. They've all got good money on the head. That's at least 1 premium. And depending on the mid-price players coming through, that's what they could be. Now, round 15, similarly, actually, there's probably no one there except for Sheasel that may go there, but who knows? They could be other players. Now, in saying that round 13, I don't know if I'm going to have a Ratkins, even Rao, or a Fiorini, or even a Humphrey by the end of the buy. So those guys are definitely collateral damage. They could go next week, depending on how things can look there. So what you've got to have your eye on is what this team will look like at the end of the buys. Okay, so when you get to round 16, and no, we've got a lot of trades. Well, obviously got our 3 this week, but after this week, we're going to have 3, 6, 9, and then another 11 trades after this week as we keep building our team. So you still have those 2 trades before your finished team, whatever finished means there, could be looking at for that round 16. So keep that in mind as you're working through it. So anyway, that's what the Warne Dogs are looking like. Almost fairly straight bat moves there. I think there's a lot of coaches that might be going with the Matt Rao one, which it's a solid move. It's a good one, as you can be going with. If you said a couple of weeks ago, and this was a question that sort of popped up before, who would you be getting, who would you want out of Anderson and Matt Rao? And you would have said 2 weeks ago, would have had to have been Anderson. It's probably without thinking. But for me now, it's Rao. Hopefully these conditions, again, being up there at Darwin, are okay for him. On the flip side of that, those guys that we've got there, they're not great for the Rat. They're not great for Fiorini. That's I'm glad they're there, which is lucky because we could have been in a world of trouble, especially those coaches that might have been holding those. The Darcy and the Sicily are 2 big ones there, and then there's more with other blokes that are out as well. So I know that is a concern. All right, let's have a look then at a few people have actually asked a few questions. So before I get into those, not so much questions, is that we're heading to Perth. It's sold out. Ridiculous. So we can't wait for that on Friday, the 14th of July. We're going to be doing our show. How it's going to work for those people that are coming along, we are going to basically watch the footy from 5:50 Perth time it is. It's going to be weird doing all those lockouts at different times, but 5:50, it's the D's and the Lions. And then straight after that game, which is probably going to be about 8:30, we'll do our show, whatever that goes for, an hour and a half or so. Should be a bit of fun. We'll plan something good and fun, but we'll be drinking plenty of beer, so it's going to be great fun. Upgraded venue from last year when we were at the Aberdeen, so hopefully a bit more, easy to get beers, and also the fact that there will be beers there and food and all that. So get in early so you can enjoy the evening ahead of the show, but obviously you can get there for when the show will start at the end of the footy. So we might do something at halftime. I don't know, but we'll work it all out. So it's going to be a very fun, casual affair. We are looking at possibly doing something on a Thursday. So if you're in Perth, if you're on Patreon, let us know there. Or if you're in the comments here on YouTube or on the Friday Fantasy Fill Up, or just tweet us or something. Let us know if you're keen for something on the Thursday night. We might just do a second show and just do it as a show like what we might do, but we might even think about some other ideas so it could be a little bit different. So if you're up for something different as well, you could come along to that. You might want to go to both shows with how it is. Anyway, should be fun. We'll work it all out. We've got plenty of time. It's, I think, 43 days or something like that, or 42 days until the event. So yeah, must be 42 because it is a Friday today. Anyway, all right, let's look at some of these questions that people ask. So the Colebrook Yeti, is Dylan Moore anywhere near a top 6 forward? I think he is a chance to be. So I was looking at him before, and this is a reason for him being a round 14 player. So his he had the 126 last week, and we thought he was going to be at the end of the year. So we just need to see if see this week and see round 13 coming off his round 14 buys when I'd probably pounce. Obviously, you could pounce now because his break-even's at a 67, and it's 700k or 714 that he is. That's a good price. I would want to back it in. Hawthorn's someone I'm not that keen to buy into, which has probably been part of my non-Sicily buying in the last couple of years anyway. But anyway, he could be. Could is the answer for that, I think. Or how anywhere near. I think he's top 10. So if that's near, that's near. Ryan to Briggs. If you can go Samson Ryan to Briggs, that's an okay move. And I think some people obviously would have Briggs on the bench. Ryan on the bench, which would make Briggs on the bench. Just check to see if you've got him. I think it's a lot of money to have for someone that may not hit your park, especially over the buys as well, because it's hard to get him to hit the park, because if you've got your 2 rucks playing in any given week and he's on your pine, then that's going to be tough. But that would be a great move if you could make that work there. Michael's got this one. Trade Fiorini due to the high break-even. He's got 20 playing, or trade Holland as he's injured, 21 play. Both up to lead. I'd be going the injured player at Hollands. Now, Fiorini has that higher break-even. It's about 100, I think, from memory. I'm just sort of playing that longer game, I guess, in the sense that we got him to stay there for his bye. In the ideal world, it was going to be after the bye that he would have been there for. But I would be going Hollands. That's as simple as that for me. I probably don't need to explain that too much more. Easy peasy. Would you rather get English now or get Wits and have 250k for next week to get a rookie to lead? Yeah, so this is the issue I have with getting English full stop. English is the one that you want. It's a pretty obvious thing that you want. Obviously, he's got a buy coming up, which Wits will as well, but it's got the good buy. 250k is going to get a rookie to lead. That's going to be a great move, and that's going to get you in a nice position. I'd be doing that and riding Wits through here and get English off his buy. So English's scores, actually, I've kind of mentioned that English hasn't been epic, but English's scores, 95, I think it's just because he lost his ton run a few weeks ago. He's had the 99, 151, 92, 121, and 95. He's had those 3 90s, but 90s are fucking good. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. So anyway, all right. So, geez, that's like, now I've looked at that. Maybe you just go straight to English and get it done. You just get it done. That's what I would be trying to do, even though I like to get value. Oh, rookie to lead. Which could get you through. Oh, geez, I go and ask someone else. I think Roy's in that position, but I don't think Roy can get to Witsy. I don't think Roy can get to English. He probably could, but it would be ruining other trades. I think if you've got the opportunity to get English, just get him. I had a dream Briggs got 54. Should I ignore that dream? No, some dreams can come true. You've got to probably look at your expectations for what Briggs can get. He can have a 54. Maybe that score gets knocked out, but wouldn't that be devastating? You're buying into a player whose score gets knocked out this week. Zach's got this one. Lachie Neale versus Hayden Young. A good question for next week. I'm probably looking at Hayden Young over Lachie Neale, but that's probably position dependent for me a little bit more. So I probably need to get my backline looking a bit better. So that's where I am sitting with that. But Lachie Neale, I don't mind it as an option. I think the difference for me is that Hayden Young is probably closer to that top group than Lachie Neale is. Now, Lachie Neale can be, and I think he definitely can be, but I just feel like Hayden Young might be that safer sort of selection in that sense. Martin's got this one here. Degoe or Steele are better for the rest of the year? Like, the simple answer for me is Steele, but that wasn't a great return last week. I'm just hoping that this rest is what he needs, and because he's been banged up. He obviously had a few weeks off there with his shoulder, I think it was. Yep. And he has been a bit banged up. So, and he was in doubt to play. So I'm backing in Steele. If you're, yeah, that's where I'm. Degoe is a roller coaster. Jordan, Nick Martin, an option, if that's all I can get to. Low break even and a good matchup. Yeah, it could be. The Nick Martin play is like one of those plays that are going, you're there for a short time, maybe medium-term time, and you just want everything to go right on that. But how many times do things not go right? And that's an issue. That's where we get in trouble with some of these players, like a Hugh Greenwood, for example. People are keen there, and with good reason. Like, he is actually a gun player at his best and all of that, but it's going to be dependent on a little bit of role and who is in the team. So not even so much the role, because he might continue to play that inside mid that he's good at and can score well in, but when LDU's back, I think we've got Shields there. It's just fraught with a little bit of danger. But Nick Martin could be that, as long as you've got that sort of get-out plan and you've got that idea that, are you trading him at that round 14 bye? Is that the sort of play that you've got for him? But then I have that sort of struggle with going, you just got him for 2 weeks, which is obviously a play, but yeah, prioritising things as well. Darcy Cameron, a safe option. I feel like he is a safe-ish option, Cade. So, yeah, roll, all that. But we do have Cox in there, and that is one of those things that we didn't like about him being part of the team. So good matchup this week. So he should be right, I reckon. Can you trade out still? So no is what my answer would be. So that philosophy of I'm not, and I don't want anyone to be trading premiums if they're fit. And I know that's probably the thing with Steele at the moment, that he may not have been completely fit, but hopefully the rest will be good for him. So don't trade any premiums. Get rid of rookies that have maxed out in price. Get rid of red dots. Get rid of those mid prices that have done their job. So over the buys, like I mentioned earlier with my team, Warple goes during the buys. If you've got Finn Callahan, he goes during the buys. Like, he's a perfect one because he's got the round 15 buys. So that's where you pounce. He turns into a big premium, and you're pretty stoked with yourself a round, 12, 13 or 14 premium coming off there. It's just a nice move. You've got a lot of options for him when that happens. So hold on to blokes like Steele. All right, who are the best rookies under 450k other than Mullen? Like, it's an issue. So you've got Harvey Harrison, could be okay at 40. He's not going to score a heap, but we're sort of struggling now. When we say 450, you've got a fair range of players there. And this might actually, I'll just go through the other questions here, and I'm going to go through the most traded in players. So we're looking at and give a bit of a review on those. Rank, Humphrey and Greenwood. I'm going Humphrey better. Just for the coin and also that buy. And it says both work for the buys, but surely Humphrey still works better for the buys is my thing for that. Iman has got this one. Can I trade Powell, Atkinson, Fiorini to the same buy people in Anderson and Rao this week, or going into their buy? Yeah, I think you can. So you can trade them. Or if you're getting those guys into the buy, I probably wouldn't be buying into an Anderson or Rao when they've got their buy. But this week, you could do that. If you're sitting all right, and they're the sort of players where I'm thinking if you've got, it's a way that you can do stuff. You can shuffle buy players to, if they're buy for buy and your structure's looking all right, that will work. Not stacked in round 15. Not stacked in round 15 buy. There's not many. Walsh or Cogs? Is it Cogs just because he's got the forward status? But that not stacked in round 15 buy, most forward lines are probably stacked in round 15. That's probably the thing. I'm going Walsh because I think Cow's hot on him being an option for this week as a skipper. Was he? Or did I dream that? I don't know. All right, I'm going to, like I said, I was going to have a look at this. Geez, I've been going nearly 20 minutes here. I'll wrap this up in a few minutes because I better upload it and I've got to go and pick up the big demon from school. So here is the Stats Centre, and I'm going to go Coach's Choice in, and Mullen, yep, I'm okay with that. Harvey Harrison, a lot of people are doing that, so that's 8,000 coaches doing that. Bailey Humphrey sort of almost gets that range that was asked about there with the 450k K or less. Hugh Greenwood's a bit more than that. Kieran Briggs. So Hobbsy's too much now. What's he up to? Hobbsy's up to 605. Bloody hell. So George Wardlaw's an obvious one there, still in that range. Josh Fahey is named on extended bench, so we'll see those teams at 5 o'clock. If he's there, you might want to go into that. Obviously, look at that break even. Oh, hang on, where does his break even pop up? His break even's 55, so you're not getting cash out of him. He's about a bum on seat type player is what you're looking at with that. So Ollie Lord, I really couldn't go in there. He had a 60 last week, but he's at 300k or 299. You could, and he's there. So it might be one if that suits okay with a round 15 guy like that coming in as a rookie. I think the position-wise, like if you've got rookies or mid-price at that time, that's okay. You don't want too many premiums on that round 15. There they are. I was just going to click on the outs at the moment and go Ashcroft. He's out. Yeah, a lot of people are doing it. 18,000 coaches, and it's a play. I've got no issue with people doing that. I'm just going, I just need him. Because my team's shitter, I need to look after him. Wilmot, yep. Hollands, yep. Sean Darcy, yep. So people are getting rid of Fiorini and Atkins. There's no dramas with that as long as you're getting those players there. A couple of red dots getting fixed there. The Philippou, the Sharp. Just guys. Rowan Marshall, I'm not big on that with 3.1 thousand coaches getting rid of him. Obviously, his numbers, he was in some doubt a few weeks ago. Oh, no. God. I think I'm just so complacent with some of these players thinking what they're scoring. And I say, I didn't get 100. Oh, yes, 96 though. You're an idiot, Warne. But, yeah, I would not be trading Rowan Marshall. Samson Ryan, yeah. Chesser is that red dot or purple dot as he is at the moment because he's on the extended. Green, Sicily, yeah. So all of these guys, a peddler you can trade now if you want to. Like, that's absolutely fine as well, I think. So even rookies that are playing, if they've done their job. Now, Chincotta being in, I would be keeping him now. What did his break even end up as? 34, because he had a poor game in that last one before getting, what was that last one? 22, that's right. So he had those 70s, and that 22. I should have remembered that because poor old Calvinator was not happy with the Warne Dawgs. All right, back to my team just before we wrap up. So make sure that you are having a look at where your team's situated. Have that eye forward to the other weeks. Get the fancy coach and use the buy detector because it is very handy to have. See what you're looking like for this week. See what you're looking like for those future weeks with the trades. And keep in mind what moves that you're going to be making. That round 13, Atkins probably goes to someone or Fiorini goes to someone. So those guys can nick off. And then it might be get rid of a red dot rookie there as well. So I should be able to manage getting players there. It might be that I go a week early on Pedler if his score isn't great this week because, a Pedler's break even is up to 63 and if he's well below that or something, I go, yep, no, he can go a week earlier, that sort of stuff. So you are getting those extra players on field. Understand how many you've got, understand how many players that you're going to have week to week so that you're not going to be cooking your side in the future. And like I said, have 7 premium defenders or 9 premium midfielders and stuff like that. If you end up doing it, yes, you still have trades to do that and you've got that luxury position, but don't do that at the sake of having a rookie on field where you are forced into a move where you need to do that. Prioritise some of your moves, but yeah, have a look at it all the way across. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on Sunday night for our live stream, patreon.com/DT Talk. Always fun. Thanks to, had a few more people jump on recently. And one of the reasons people might have jumped on too is because we've got our knockout competition, which will be starting after the buys. This one's open for the public. We had it for Patreon and it's still going. I think we must be down to the final 16. Is that right? I need to check that out. You can find out the details on dreamteamtalk.com. It's in the Friday Fantasy Fill-Up article. You just need to sign up to the league. I think we've got a couple of thousand people in there. The top 512 ranked coaches from the buys, and it's ranked on their 4 weeks of buys, will make it through to that 512, and then it'll be first versus 512th. Winner goes through and knock out all the way through until round 24. We'll have our final of the last 2 coaches standing, and they will be the winner of the cash. $250 cash if you are the winner of that. But if you're in our Patreon, that's why people are signing up, you get $500 and $250 if you're the runner-up in that. So a bit of a bonus for being part of our Patreon, which is great, and we love people that have been involved with the Patreon. It's a great community. It's great fun. We're having an absolute ball with what we're doing there. So anyway, that's it. Thanks so much. I'm going to press stop here, upload this, get that article posted because I have to go and pick up Georgie and she will be devastated if Dad's not there going and picking her up. Thanks, legends. See ya.